So here's another terrible story of child abuse leading to death. These two assholes, this guy with a fucking, goddamn wide eyes, and then this fat fuck over here. Well, they beat a 7-month-old, a month old, they beat an infant. They beat a baby to death. They beat up a baby to death. The baby had head trauma, fractured ribs, multiple broken bones. What is this, a barroom brawl? What is this? A fucking fist fight? They boxing? This 7-month-old, a 7-month-old baby. Yeah, I can understand maybe they're crying. I mean, I guess we're very vulnerable. I mean, a baby? We don't begin to start doing things for ourselves until we're like 2 or 3 years old. So 7-month-old baby. They're crying, they're pissing and shitting, and they need to be fed, right? And then they sleep. So, it's... Some people just aren't ready to have kids. Some people aren't prepared to have kids. Maybe mentally, maybe monetarily. Oppressors also have a love of death. So this is the mother. And then this is the boyfriend. Okay? So, whoops, I needed a man. I brought a man into my life, and we were yelling at the little baby who can't understand us, who can't hear a damn word, until we started hitting it, and then it died. The investigation was started at 9:50. Let's read some of this. It was discovered it had no pulse, noticed signs of physical abuse. Their names are 29-year-old Guillermo Will Benvenuti Pineda of Douglas, and the mother's boyfriend. And then the mother, 27-year-old Hannah Nicole Green of Douglas. The infant's mother was aware of the ongoing abuse, tried to conceal the evidence, mislead investigators after the incident. They were taken into custody without incident. They're charged with malice murder, felony murder, aggravated battery, cruelty to children in the first degree, tamper with evidence. And then there's, all these self-condolences. Oh, I want to thank all the sheriff's office and this office and that office and every other office. Sheriff Cole's right when he says, you may be the only voice a child has. If you see something, say something, right? Our children are counting on us to protect them. Unfortunately, because of our damn system, if you try to do something yourself, then the police may arrest you. And so now you're dependent on the police to do the damn thing. And if they don't do the damn thing, and then is that the solution too? Let's go back and look at these two fuckers, right? So good old Mama Dearest there. Mama Dearest needed to find a man. They were worried about each other. Kept hitting the baby till they broke her bones. And then we don't even know the baby's name. A lot of people will say, well, to protect their privacy. To protect what privacy? The baby's dead. It's going to be dead forever. For 7 months, who did they win over? Whose hearts and minds have they won over? People will hear this story and just be like, oh yeah, shit happens. Who gives a damn? Like, what the fuck is going on in Georgia? What the fuck is going on in Georgia where people think that this shit is okay? I want to quote a couple things from Paulo Freire, because oppressors have a love of death. Oppressors have a love of death. They're dead on the inside, and they want to control and manipulate those that they believe is underneath them, and they have a love of death. So, because oppressors have a love of death, I can understand how the baby died. The baby died because, well, it's a baby. It doesn't know how to listen to anything. It's going to cry, it's going to poop, it's going to shit. You're not going to understand it, and then if you're just yelling at it, and if you hit it or whatever, it's going to cry some more. That's the only way that it can communicate with the world. So Paulo Freire, he had said, here's a Paulo Freire quote, I'm not for sure. Okay, then that other quote, okay, let me just read this. Then this is the great humanistic and historical task of the oppressed, to liberate themselves and their oppressors as well. I don't understand why we need to put pressure on the oppressed to liberate their oppressors. If that 7-month-old baby could have got out, and lived a happy life, then I don't think it needs to, in a way it rescues the oppressors by not having, they don't have to take care of them anymore, right? So whatever, live your own life. You're free to live your life. You don't have to take care of the 7-month-old baby. Whatever oppression you felt from having to take care of another human life, you don't have to. I'm not sure if I believe that anymore. Paulo Freire. The oppressors who oppress, exploit, and rape by virtue of their power cannot find in this power the strength to liberate either the oppressed or themselves. Only power that springs from the weakness of the oppressed will be sufficiently strong to free both. Any attempt to soften the power of the oppressor in deference to the weakness of the oppressed almost always manifests itself in the form of false generosity. Indeed, the attempt never goes beyond this. In order to have the continued opportunity to express their generosity, the oppressors must perpetuate injustice as well. Here, I'll give you, your milk, baby, but I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm going to give you $1. I'm going to give you false generosity. Here's a gift. Now let me go back to insulting you, humiliating you, attacking you, abusing you. An unjust social order is the permanent fount of this generosity, which is nourished by death, despair, and poverty. That is why the dispensers of false generosity become desperate at the slightest threat to its source. True generosity consists precisely in fighting to destroy the causes which nourish false charity. False charity constrains the fearful and subdued, the rejects of life, to extend their trembling hands. True generosity lies in striving so that those hands, whether of individuals or entire peoples, need to be extended less and less in supplication, so that more and more they become human hands which work, and working transform the world. I like that a lot. So instead of giving people something and saying, see, I gave you something, so therefore you have to love me, you have to care about me, you have to allow my injustice to carry on. Instead, you equip them with all the tools, put them in a good environment, and then encourage them to be the best them that they could be, so that they could use their hands to make something of themselves. Leap erratic, you're not going to let me do this? While life is characterized by growth in a structured, functional manner, the necrophilous person loves all that does not grow, all that is mechanical. Let me sing my song, man. The necrophilous person is driven by the desire to transform the organic into the inorganic, to approach life mechanically, as if all living persons were things. Memory rather than experience, having rather than being is what counts. The necrophilous person can relate to an object, a flower, or a person only if he possesses it. Hence, a threat to his possession is a threat to himself. If he loses possession, he loses contact with the world he loves, controlled, and in the act of controlling, he kills life. Oppression, overwhelming control is necrophilic. It is nourished by love of death, not life. The banking concept of education, which serves the interest of oppression, is also necrophilic, based on a mechanistic, static, naturalistic, spatialized view of consciousness. It transforms students into receiving objects and attempts to control thinking and action, leads women and men to adjust to the world, and inhibits their creative power. Alright, God, hold on.